And I mean, you've been in dressing rooms in similar situations, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be the Champions League exactly like this, but in situations where you almost came close and now you're wondering, all right, we're in a decent position in the league. We look to all but have secured European football for next season. The Champions League, they were throwing all their eggs in that basket and believing. How do Villa build on this now?
Well, two ways. They need funding from above, so they need to buy better players. That's always difficult when you've got good players. Liverpool's a case in point. When you analyse what Liverpool have got, how do you try and strengthen that? So Unai Emery will have in mind, especially when you watch PSG and you watch how good they are technically in midfield, controlling, dictating a game. Well, Youri Tielemans is that man. So can you try and buy better midfield players to play alongside him? They've got players like Ramsey and Morgan Rogers who are brilliant young players. So they're going to get better. Can you have a number 9 that's going to guarantee you 25 goals a season? Can you get a little bit more out your wide man? It's all margins, Alexis. It's all like Moneyball stuff. If you've got a centre forward that's scoring 15 goals, the next step is you want to buy one that can get 20, or you make him better, and vice versa. If you've got midfield players like Youri Tielemans, who's technically very good, well, he should be getting 10 goals a season. If you're Morgan Rogers, he should be getting 10 to 12 goals a season. Ramsey the same. So it's either Unai Emery making these young players and some of the experienced players better, which is feasible because he's a brilliant manager, or you say to the board and the sporting director, right, come on, like with quarterfinal Champions League, it's time to kick on. We're going to try and finish in the top 4, but we want to try and get close to the title. All needs a little bit of money. It's never going to go away. The age-old problem and how you fix football teams is if you've got the best teams and the best players, you've got a great chance of winning. So that's what he needs.
Final one on Villa, because as you're speaking about funding and investing in players, you mentioned some big names, but I have to bring it back to my boy, Marcus Rashford. We know that there's a lot more loose ends in that, considering he still is very much a Manchester United player. But from what we have seen from him and just watching him again last night, Don, seeing him bobbing and weaving through defenders, and these are PSG defenders we're talking about, which we know normally on a regular Marcus Rashford day, this is his level, you know? But seeing what we've seen from Marcus Rashford now, is he someone that Villa and Unai Emery have to do something to hold on to?
Break the bank. I think you're looking at a player. Isn't it brilliant as well from the human side when people like me and people like yourself, when you ask the questions, and I've got to be honest, being an analyst, and we criticize players because it's our job. We critique them, good and bad. But I think when you critique certain players, especially in my opinion, it comes from a point where when I critique Marcus Rashford, it's because I want him to do well. And I critique him because the talent is in there. We've known it. We've seen it for a long, long time. So whenever you pick holes in someone's performances or their demeanor or their attitude or their character or their ability to run around and work hard, it's because we know he can do it. So he proved last night he can. You're right, Alexis. This is his level. Always has been. You might be looking at a case, and it's difficult to try and look from my point of view from the outside world, but you might be looking at a young man that's got away from Manchester. He's got out of that bubble. He's got out of one or two of his mates that sometimes you have to leave behind. And he's gone into Aston Villa, which is a massive football club. And Unai Emery's probably told him on day one when you walk through the door, and people like John McGinn would have said the same thing. You're going to have to work hard to get in this side. So when you're a player like Rashford, you go into a new environment with a brand new manager, top class manager, by the way, you go into that culture in that dressing room, they drag you up to the level. But as they've dragged him up to the level, he's now shown the world, and he's showing Unai Emery, you need to break the bank for me, because if Villa are going to try and compete for top 4 and compete for Champions Leagues, that's the type of player they should be buying. So go for him.
It burns me a little to hear you say that, because, I love me some Marcus Rashford all day, every day, but you know which side of Manchester my heart lies, and it will pain me to see one of our
Alexis, unless he's got his mojo back and he's got his confidence back and he's got a love for the game back, there's a chance he might go back to Manchester United and reproduce it. I hope he does.
Not to be playing mid-table football, Don. Anyways, moving on. There is so much pain there.